They've established he's 26, I believe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also that they've known each other forever.
Yeah, which means that once... Oh, my God. It's the camp counselor all over again.
Yes.
Like, oh, my God. Yeah, because they have established that. So, like, he was 16 and she was fucking 8 years old.
Yeah.
And you disgusting fucking creeps.
So bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's fucking Marius and Cosette from Les Miserables. You fucking creep.
Hey, Upper East Siders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there. You just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, the newbie, the greenhorn, I don't know, Leif, we're in season 3. What am I now?
I don't know, but by the way, how do you find having a sibling, someone whose sole purpose on Earth is to compete for your parents' love and attention?
Come on, Leif, you know my dad doesn't love me. So here's the deal, folks. Leif has been watching Gossip Girl since it first aired, and I'm tuning in for the very first time. And together, we are your dynamic duo, bringing you all the drama, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic 2007 series.
Bring your magnifying glasses, because each week we're dissecting every juicy detail of the show, one episode at a time. We'll connect the dots, uncover those sneaky little Easter eggs, and of course serve up some piping hot behind-the-scenes tea. And expect some iconic moments from fandom, too, because what's a deep dive without a little drama?
And since we're all about inclusivity here at the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there is always room for you at the Non-Judging Breakfast table. So go ahead and grab some cranberry sauce or maybe some pumpkin pie, and let's get into this thing.
Yeah, we are well into May here. Memorial Day's right around the corner, and we're going to be talking some Gossip Girl.
Yeah. Is there some yak life planned? Are you guys...
There is, but I am not going this year.
Oh, all right. Yeah, fair enough. I'm also super excited that I just finished a second D&D campaign with our game group. So
congratulations.
Thank you. That was fun. A 1 through 20 mod. So, well, it was 1 through 17.
Adventure path.
Yeah, it was an adventure path. And it was 1 through 17, but I boosted them to 20 and made a better ending than what they had in the book.
Buzzingo. All right, now that that's out of the way, we are here to talk about Season 3, Episode 11, The Treasure of Serena Madre.
Yes.
Original air date, November 30th, 2009.
Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, so we talked about, last week we actually watched a little bit of the movie that it's based on. I was not a fan. Did you like it at all?
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I also came into it kind of late. I did.
You only missed like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how much I missed of it. I did love the choreography of the fight scene in the very beginning. Bad. It's so bad. And, it's one of those, at the time, watching it in the theater for the first time, it was people were probably clutching their pearls. And, but...
Of course, so as we are talking about The Treasure of Serena Madre, the 1948 film directed by John Huston. It's a classic adventure film. Two rough-and-tumble wanderers, Dobbs, played by Humphrey Bogart, and Curtin, played by Tim Holt, meet up with a veteran prospector named Howard, played by Walter Huston. In Mexico, they head to the Sierra Madre Mountains to find gold, although they discover treasure, and they also find plenty of trouble. Not only from ruthless bandits lurking in the dangerous Mexican wilderness, but from their own insecurities and greed, which threaten to bring conflict at any moment.
Yeah. Is Bogart a good actor, or is he a famous actor? I haven't seen a lot of his work, but I didn't feel like what I saw last week was a huge stretch.
I mean, acting was just different then.
It was. Well, because it was... And still is about star power.
I mean, he was the star of Casablanca, wasn't he?
Right. Yeah. Which is the only thing I really know him from. I believe I've seen something else that he was in. Was he Maltese Falcon I may have seen?
Yeah, I believe he is also in that.
Yeah. But I don't really know him to be a phenomenal actor. But you're right. For one, we also talked about watching this, that it was still in that phase where they weren't used to having a camera, that they did so much stage combat and stage acting for the camera.
So it's not so much that. This is kind of still in the transitionary period when they went from silent films to actually having dialogue.
So you needed bigger acting.
Well, no, not just
silent films.
They just forgot how to act because now they can just talk.
Yeah.
So like acting kind of like took a step back. They could just talk
and it's
still sell it 100 times better than they could have with just
with just the caption that would show up. And it's funny because you think about those actors who probably lost their jobs because when they actually spoke, they sounded ridiculous.
Yes.
Like Max
a lot of them
Kepler.
were a lot of them were farts. They had probably had, bad accents and stuff. And
I'm just thinking right now of the Phillies' new left fielder, Max Kepler, who all the ladies are just swooning over. But when you hear him talk, he sounds like a 15-year-old.
This episode was written by a combination of Robert Hull and Joshua Safran. Robert Hull's last episode was 303, The Lost Boy, and Joshua Safran last wrote 301, Reversals of Fortune.
Yeah, and both long-time writers on this show work both, and kudos on this episode. I really liked the writing.
Directed by Mark Pisnarski, who's busy this season. This is his third episode of the season. He also did Dan DeFloret and The Grandfather Part 2 just a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and give us that Vulture recap?
Having just watched the ubiquitous holiday movie Love Actually on our own Thanksgiving, your Daily Intel editors were under the impression that Christmas was the holiday on which people told the truth about how they really felt. But trust that eager young minx gossip girl to get a jump on things. In last night's episode, feelings spilled forth from our cast of characters like stuffing falling from a turkey. All soft and mushy, and quite possibly full of bacteria. As usual, circumstances conspired to throw everyone together, and while distracting auto-tune played in the background, several key mother-daughter pairs uneasily bonded. While Vanessa and her mother had a real heart-to-heart, Blair and Eleanor and Lily and Cece each came to waspy understandings of each other. Meanwhile, on the romantic front, doorman Vanya pursued the love of Dorota across various digital platforms. Dan's love for Vanessa manifested in the form of a new facial expression, one that managed to impart equal parts longing and the sense that he had just sharted. And both Nate and Trip Vanderbilt summoned all the passion of the Manchurian Candidate while declaring their feelings for Serena.
Yes. Holidays on the Upper East Side.
My first read through, I actually laughed out loud at the sharded thing. Not because they're making a poop joke specifically, but the accuracy of that poop joke. that look on his face.
Yeah, that was definitely the worst part of this episode.
Yeah.
Was the
Dan, look like you love Vanessa. Penn, act like you love her.
Do I have to?
It's Vanessa.
She's horrible.
Are we sure this is where we're going with this?
Let's go ahead and get into it. Act 1 begins, as always, with a Gossip Girl monologue. Thanksgiving began when the Pilgrims and Indians came together to share the bountiful harvest. On the Upper East Side, that tradition is upheld with a bountiful harvest of secrets, lies, and scandals. The Vanderhumps are strategizing their first united Thanksgiving. Serena will be working with Trip and thus be absent, and even Scott gets a name drop.
Yeah. I was really excited for a Thanksgiving episode. Eric, right off the bat, with we don't really have any traditions. Serena's not going to be joining us. Oh, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
And also a CC you can unplug. Yeah, the really great whips right from the start of this episode.
Jenny and Eric step aside to set up a video chat with Cece, and Jenny finally learns about Eric's breakup. However, Eric is still not forthcoming with the reason. Jenny tries to play matchmaker and texts Jonathan, waving the white flag.
Yeah. Jenny
was being nice this episode.
Yeah, Jenny was being nice.
She was trying to make peace.
Yeah. And it's funny because I feel like had Eric come clean earlier, that she would have gotten over it earlier, that she would have gotten over it quicker. Jenny recognizes game.
Well, even now, she said it. Just apologize and we can be friends still.
Yeah. Yeah. Jenny recognizes game.
Yeah. Tripp informs Serena that he asked Maureen for a divorce, and it definitely wasn't because of Serena. Serena tells him that they can't do anything until after the divorce, but then invites him out to her hotel room for all of Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah. That, of course, that makes so much sense.
We can't do anything, but let's just hang alone in a hotel day.
All day. Just the two of us alone.
Yeah.
Because, and
in a hotel room.
Yeah. We are in a room at your office, and we are doing everything we possibly can to not bang right here. And but instead we'll just hang out at my house.
Oh, Serena, bless your heart.
I was thinking of this on the way over, how more and more I'm recognizing how tragic of a character Serena is, more than any of the others.
Yeah.
Like, she really is a sad character. And I'd never really put together the older men and the daddy issues.
Well, they're definitely shining a light on it this season.
Yes, very much.
That has definitely been a central theme of this season for Serena.
Yeah. And it's funny because
and it seems like it's coming to a head.
It does. Well, yes, especially now getting the letter, and which we'll get to, of course. But I just really, as I was saying, I don't think I ever really put together her constant attraction to these older men, to these daddy issues that she has, as well as her mom who only shows her any appreciation if she's doing what her mom wants her to do. So she doesn't have any validation for much of anything other than the way she looks from anybody.
Even Dan, even though they're the same age, he's someone that's accepting of her, wants to take care of her, and give her, and nurture her, and it's the same. It's all tied back into her dad.
It really is, and I wouldn't just say her dad. I mean, it's her parents. That the way Lily treats her as well. Mm-hmm. It's just, I mean, we were talking about.
Sorry, got a little something there.
But yeah, we were talking about Casey and being like the Dread Pirate Roberts firing people. And it's the same thing with Lily and kicking Serena out of the house. Good job, Serena. Yeah, I'll see you in the morning. I'll probably kick you out in the morning. Serena does the smallest thing, and it's like, well, you're out now. Oh, you didn't put the cereal away? Out of my house. When you learn how to put cereal away properly, you can come back here.
Well, so technically she was already not living there. She was living at a hotel.
Right.
Now she's just no longer even welcome.
Yeah, now she can't even go there.
Yeah.
And also it was the first, and I know we aren't here yet, but the first episode that I realized she doesn't have a room anymore. That they gave up her room, which that is just, I realized that Jenny moved in and needed a place, but to give her room, that's insane to me. Of course, part of that is me as a dad. When Bailey moved in with us full time, it was still like, that is you and Jake's room, because that is always going to be Jake's room too. And that is always going to be your room, no matter where you are, where you live. And I feel like there's a time when they're adults that, we could turn those rooms into something else. But 18 and just get the fuck out so Jenny can move in.
Yes, but a slight defense to Lily in this situation, because we're going to rip on her pretty hard later. At least I am.
This whole episode.
But in her defense in this case, she does, it's established because she redecorates constantly.
Yes, I do know that. But redecorating is one thing. Removing her daughter's space, even though she was expected to go to Brown, why wouldn't you still have a place for your kid to be, even if they're at school? And I get also that they have the money that she can stay anywhere. She's staying at Chuck's, right? At the hotel?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, she can stay fucking anywhere. Yeah. It's just, I really recognized how tragic Serena's life actually is. Despite being this probably billionaire, she has a tragic life.
Yeah. Chuck and Blair are leaving the Empire and not talking about Serena. Blair is currently much more focused on the imminent return of Eleanor.
Yeah, I've got bigger adversaries to face. I do love Eleanor's return. Fantastic to see her.
Shame she couldn't bring Cyrus.
Yeah, I was bummed that she couldn't bring Cyrus. I was also a little bummed that Harold didn't come too, because of how much Blair loves Thanksgiving. This was a crowded episode, and it was a mother-daughter episode. But I know how much that means to Blair. Also wanted to... Serena came up, and Blair's like, I didn't realize the Empire had hourly rates. So fucking rude.
Yeah.
I do love that Blair recognizes not being a good friend, too. But we'll get there.
And yeah, she was rude there at the beginning of her thing, but what she was saying about Trip was definitely facts.
Spot on. 100%. Everything everyone says to her.
The next, in 6 months, he's going to find another blind coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's generous. What are they going on hiatus? Because I feel like this is a 3-episode arc.
Chuck and Blair then bump into Serena on the sidewalk, and who is looking for Nate, but Blair gives Serena shit for messing around with Trip and rightfully calls him out for being a creeper.
Yep. 100% Blair, you were dead on about what you said about Trip.
Nate and Dan are chatting on the phone, and Dan is explaining the breakup and how everything went down. Nate just says, "Dear Penthouse."
I also, once again, we have Chase Crawford being funny, telling jokes. If this isn't your next article in the New Yorker, I'm going to submit it to another magazine. Yeah, it was fantastic. I love the camaraderie.
Yeah.
And I love that they're back to full swing friends. Nate and Chuck are full swing best friends again. I really love all that.
We got to get them all three together somehow.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that, actually.
As the boys hang up, Serena shows up at Nate's and Vanessa shows up at the loft. Serena wants to take a walk, and Vanessa is looking for a place to stay for the weekend. Dan is immediately awkward, but agrees to let her stay.
Yeah, this is the first what's with the face.
Yeah.
With the pen love face.
Now, did you have to like submit a special form to stay over Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Not Thanksgiving. Christmas, yes, but not Thanksgiving. Oh, no, yeah. We had to be out for Thanksgiving. Yeah, in fact, Jake had to leave at a certain time and wasn't allowed back in.
I guess since Hawaii was an island.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A good percentage of the population staying for break.
Yeah, they wouldn't be flying home like that. Yeah. But yeah, my college definitely, and Jake also had to be out. Yes. They do allow special circumstances, but only if you live in California or you have special extraordinary circumstances.
Is that because like the cafeteria is closed and they don't have any way to cook food or something?
They shut the whole building down pretty much. So they don't heat the building. They don't. Yeah. Or at least they cut everything down to the bare minimum. And because the RAs can't be expected to be there.
That's the dorms in Hawaii had zero HVAC.
Really?
Never got below like 70 degrees.
Yeah, but it would get hot though.
We all had fans.
Yeah, I would figure they'd have AC at least, but no, because you have fans. You just open the windows. Yeah, and everything just.
So the first month and a half of school, so like August and September, it was pretty hot in Honolulu. It was like high 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
But then once you got past like September, it was basically between 65 and 75 all year.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But yeah, I think a big part of it was also that the RAs couldn't be there too. And so there was probably some legal work that goes into that too.
Rufus and Eric are video chatting with Cece. She hides her surprise at Lily saying she wasn't healthy enough to travel and says she will be there in person. Uh-oh, Lily. You got some splaining to do.
The look on Eric's face, the look of, oh my God, what have we done, on Eric's face was amazing. Do we know where Cece lives?
I think California.
And she just flew in in time for Thanksgiving.
Probably has her own private jet.
Yeah, or yeah.
Or at least
has a friend. One. Yeah, exactly. Excuse me, Mr. Bezos, can I borrow your jet? Probably more like Warren Buffett. Probably, excuse me, Mr. Buffett, can I borrow your jet?
At the Waldorfs, Dorota is ignoring texts, calls, and tweets from Vanya for some reason. Blair finds an envelope from Eleanor's estate attorney, but Eleanor pushes her off to the kitchen for tea.
Nice to see Eleanor. Finally getting Eleanor back.
Yeah.
I forgot how much I enjoy Margaret Collins' work.
Yeah. And she's been a big part of all the Thanksgiving episodes.
Yes. Yeah. And brings just such great presence and has such a great relationship with Blair on screen. So I'm always excited for her to be in stuff like this.
And so the name of the estate attorney, Lionel Trippi, was a shout out to the West Wing. He was the White House counsel.
The White House counsel, yes. Yeah, I remember that now that you mention it.
Nate and Serena are talking in the park. Serena admits to one kiss, but that it was a mistake. Serena gets a call from Tripp, who cancels on their plans because Maureen is suspicious. Serena invites Nate to Thanksgiving at her mom's place.
So again, right now I'm supposed to believe that Serena, at the end of the last episode, left with Tripp, went to, I forget if it was his office or her home, but they went someplace private and started making out. And they want me to believe that that was it. That it was that one kiss, then she was like, okay, well, goodbye. Even though I was just out with my friend and I'm clearly out for the night.
That's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe it.
I don't think they had sex.
No, but I'm sure some hand stuff took place.
Possibly. Lily and Maureen bump into each other on the street wearing the same coat. Lily lets slip that Serena's lie about working with Tripp in a soup kitchen. Lily invites Maureen and Tripp to Thanksgiving, so Serena is forced to spend some family time. Gossip Girl brings us to the first commercial with this singer. Uh-oh. Looks like someone's small Thanksgiving might just have a big problem. May the Lord make us truly thankful for what we are about to receive.
So this is our first commercial break. This Lily scene where she drops the tea without knowing she's spilling tea. Mm-hmm. You know, she just lays it on. You get these two coats. It's like, oh, great way to talk to each other, which is a great setup for later. And Lily just so innocently, hey, I want to see my daughter on Thanksgiving. Can you and Tripp come to Thanksgiving so that you can make sure Serena's there? And Maureen just getting this and processing this info. Also, just this, for up until this first commercial break, this was such a packed Act 1. Mm-hmm. You know, it
11 scenes.
Yeah. Really good, really witty, really quick. And just the pacing, boom, boom, boom. It just didn't stop. And I really liked how it paced that first break.
And we're starting to get an idea of the guest list.
Yes, yeah. And the fact that the guest list is going to keep growing.
And there's going to be some conflicts.
Yes.
Some obvious conflicts. Act 2 begins. Dan and Vanessa are making pie at the loft. Vanessa is ranting about her mom and then comforts Dan on his breakup. Dan, with an assist from Olivia, has gaslit himself to thinking he is in love with Vanessa. However, Dan is saved by the doorbell as Gabrielle is back in town on Dan's invitation. Looks like the Abrams are coming to Thanksgiving as well.
So, first of all, Dan, stop being gross. Just stop. Just let it go, Dan. Let it go. Let it go. Fall back in love with Serena or something. Just let it go.
Or the Amalia girl. She seemed pretty
Or Amalia.
cool.
Yeah. Sure.
Or not Amalia.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the writer girl.
Yeah. Go for her.
Yeah.
Go for anyone. Anyone else.
Please.
Anybody. Also, this was when I was like, holy shit, they got everyone. Wait, did she walk in? I don't think.
Yes. Who?
Gabriella?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When she walked in and I was like, they got everyone for this. I was so excited. And because
all the moms are there.
All the moms are there. All of them, including Cece.
Yeah.
It's such a packed episode that also is all throughout laying the groundwork that everyone's together in the end, which is what we've always said is our A episode.
Yeah. Tripp is stalking Serena at her hotel. He informs her that he and his wife are coming to the Thanksgiving tomorrow. Serena says Tripp can't come to her room, but then stops the elevator and starts making out with him. Serena. Mixed signals.
and Tripp, you are so
Gross.
fucking creepy. Like, yeah, I'm stalking you. It's not funny. No. It's not funny, Congressman-elect. I don't even think he's sworn in yet. Congressman-elect, that's not funny to say you're stalking a teenager. And the whole like, oh, at least we get to spend time together with your wife and their families. And then when he's like, just one last time. Why is it one last time? If you're going to leave your wife, why can't Serena go to Washington with you? I mean, if Serena's the one for you, if Serena's who you want to be with, why is it one last time? Why can't she go with you to Washington?
Serena just keeps finding worse partners somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I know.
Somehow.
She's going to end up with
new lows every
Christian
season.
Bale from American Psycho next.
I think that Aaron kind of already was that with his murder room.
Okay, fair.
Still think Serena's lucky she got out of that relationship alive.
And with all of her toes.
Blair's trying to figure out what's in the big envelope. Blair guilt trips her mom into staying for Thanksgiving. Also, it's good to know that Dorota will get in on the action too because she's working the party for time and a half. Blair threatens calling the INS on Dorota to get her to hand over Eleanor's bag, which contains a pregnancy test.
Dorota, you are a fucking champion. The way she's like, I'll be working there Thanksgiving because Ms. Lily offered me time and a half. With the direct look and Eleanor's eye roll that went along with it. It was just such a great little bit. And of course, the first time through, not the first time watching and with the pregnancy test. And it's like, that's a weird thing for Dorota to pick up for Eleanor.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not making assumptions, but
I think Eleanor is someone who would have a Dorota go pick that up for her.
No, I do think so. I just also don't see, I do not believe her to want any more kids.
Well, as Blair points out, I think it's a little too late.
Yeah, and that too. And yeah, that she closed her shop a long time ago.
It's I think she mentioned something about a miracle. Chuck tells Nate that his security caught Serena making out with Tripp in the elevator. Both Chuck and Nate seem concerned with saving Serena from making a mistake, but only Nate seems determined to actually do something about it.
I like that Chuck did Chuck finds out, goes to Nate, lets Nate know. I like the whole conversation too. Like, your cousin's going to be a piece of shit to her. Mm-hmm. And like, someone needs to get through to her. And Chuck's point though, whoever's going to go to her has to bring a sledgehammer because this is Serena. Yeah. And the more you tell her she shouldn't do something, the more guaranteed she is going to do the thing she shouldn't do.
Got some rocks in her heads.
Yes. Yeah. Concrete.
Yeah. And Act 3. Let the festivities begin. Lily is shocked and less than thrilled that Cece is there. Dan, Vanessa, and Gabriella also arrive. Cece lets Lily know that the serious discussion is needed between them and also between Lily and Rufus.
Yeah, Cece instantly has shit to stir when she comes in, as to be expected. I mean, Cece's entire job is to stir shit on this show. And again, she's not wrong. Season 1, she was an asshole.
Yeah.
Season 2, she was right, but did it the wrong way. And at this point, I think that she's actually right and handling it better.
Yeah.
So far. It's Lily's business, but she's going to know it, and she's going to hound Lily to do the right thing, which I'm sure she'll do. Also, it's his job, Mom. Doorman is not derogatory.
Yeah.
It's a job title.
Vanessa and Gabrielle just go back to Vermont and stay there forever.
Yes.
Blair, Eleanor, and Chuck are walking up to the building. It looks like Blair is going to do all the tropey "is she pregnant" tests.
Yeah, trying to force Eleanor to drink. Here, Carrie, here's the champagne. Yeah.
And Chuck continuing his good episode. He remembers his girlfriend's mom's favorite champagne.
Yes. Yeah. This season, Chuck, the glow up of Chuck this season, I have loved who he's grown into.
Mm-hmm.
So far.
Yep, so far. Blair arrives and gets an icy greeting from Serena. Chuck threatens to kick Serena out of the Empire if she catches her playing grab ass in his elevator again.
Yeah, Maureen coming in and instantly dropping hints that she knows.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally not awkward. And then she walks off to see Nate and Tripp stays to talk to Serena. You fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
You both of you are so dumb to think that you could pull this off.
Maureen confronts Nate and flat out asks if Serena and Tripp are having an affair. Nate admits they are and that he has an idea. When the scene cuts, it looks like he's going to show her the elevator footage on his phone.
Yeah. Nate giving the goods to Maureen. Can't blame him. I'm kind of team Nate on this whole thing. That
yes and no. I mean, he has ulterior motives, clearly.
He does. I can't blame him for his ulterior motives. And here's why. If Serena was like, they broke up, it was done, and she still went to Nate and was like, but I'm not into you either, I think Nate would be like, okay. I think Nate would accept that. So I think that Nate was doing it to protect Serena and to save Serena for two reasons. To save Serena, and to save Serena so he can be Serena's savior.
Yeah, I just think it would have come off better if it was Chuck and Nate, or even just Chuck.
I agree. Which Chuck, clearly when we see it, isn't too happy about it.
Yeah. Jenny pulls Blair aside to find out what Eric did at Cotillion. Blair admits that Eric is the one who came up with the plan to take down Jenny.
The choreography in this scene, when you just see Blair go walking by and then instantly Jenny and Blair come back around the corner, that you just know that Blair walked around the corner, got grabbed by the wrist and hauled right back. It was so quick and so perfect. Blair was completely out of the shot for a millisecond before they both came barging back in. I thought that was so great. And then we had Blair spill more tea. Mm-hmm. So much tea spilled in this episode.
And it all comes up in this next scene. What you say drops. Dinner begins and secrets and verbal daggers are coming out in rapid fire. Lily didn't come home until several months after Cece went into remission. Vanessa is embarrassed by her mom butting into other people's business. Jenny calls Eric out for Cotillion. Eric fires back at her bland sweet potatoes. Blair continues to offer Eleanor foods from the banned for pregnant women list. Maureen is disgusted by Serena and Tripp and pulls out the footage and says that the affair is over or she goes public. At the end of it, Rufus is obliviously tells dad jokes and Cece raises her glass while cackling.
So yeah, this was a lot. There's a lot that happened here.
Yes.
It was so good. First of all, Rufus being annoyed with Cece doing Cece shit. You invited her, Rufus. You brought her here. This was your doing. You know that Cece's a shit stirrer, so when she sits next to you and starts stirring shit, don't be too surprised. But also, Gabriella, mind your fucking business and shut your fucking mouth. especially at Thanksgiving in front of all these people. Like, yeah, you're friends with Rufus, call him later and see if he's okay. But then the writing here, the writing and the directing, the way that the dialogue is just tossed around this scene where you have it go from the Rufus, Cece, I keep calling her Zoe, Gabriella with their little bit. And then it kicks over to Dan and Vanessa, who Vanessa chimes into that, but then has her own thing. And then they talk, and then they throw it to Jenny and Eric, and then they have their barbs. And Eric has do you have nothing to say? Your sweet potatoes are bland. So great. And honestly, and then Maureen spilling the tea and Lily standing over their shoulder to catch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just perfect. But all the while I'm thinking I want to hear the goddamn joke.
That's what I call Plymouth Rock. And then Cece just raising her glass and just cackling.
Yeah. So good. So, and everybody else at the table just being like, what the fuck just happened?
So I'm glad, we'll get into this a little more later, but I'm glad my memory, when we get into This Week in Fandom, I'm glad my memory was not completely wrong in this, that this has become a very iconic Gossip Girl scene, but during the original run, it was not really seen that way.
Oh.
But like now, in its second and third runs on streaming, it has definitely become extremely popular. The scenes, every Thanksgiving, I see it in my social media feeds popping up. Mm-hmm. And there was even like a Gossip Girl Thanksgiving TikTok challenge where like you like showed yourself getting up from the table with like a caption.
A storm off?
Yeah. and with the song by Jason Derulo, What You Say. So, and this is, and so it's definitely become an iconic scene in Gossip Girl. Jason Derulo's What You Say samples Imogen Heap's Hide and Seek.
Okay.
Which
was used
in the most iconic scene from the OC. It was on SNL. And
oh, okay.
So that's kind of a weird coincidence.
Yeah, yeah. So, or maybe not.
I mean, yeah.
It could be.
Yeah, it's not really coincidence, but it's amazing that he was able to do it twice.
Yeah. Because the other thing I wanted to bring up in that scene, though, because you just mentioned it, the storm-offs. I think it was first Blair, and then Jenny, and then Vanessa. And Eleanor chases Blair. Gabriella doesn't chase Vanessa. I loved it. The storm-offs were so good.
And yeah, so another act break without a Gossip Girl blast. We go into Act 4. And Serena has followed Lily to another room, who is furious at her daughter. Lily says Serena is no longer welcome in her home until she ends things with Trip.
You're the worst fucking mom, but only to your own kid. Any other kid that is in your circle, you'd be like, oh, that's really tragic. Oh, you take them in and have a conversation and guide them. Like you do with Blair, like you do with Jenny. But when it's your kid, you're like, get the fuck out of my house. While you're dating a congressman, get out. A married congressman. But like, you're kicking her out. Like all the fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the same as kicking out a normal person.
I was, it's get out of my head. Because I was just about to say, it's even more of a privilege to be like, you're not welcome in my house. I'll put you up at a hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want you to be my problem.
I just don't want to see you right now.
Yes. Yeah. And Lily's
That's basically what you're saying. I don't want to see you right now.
Yes. And Lily's whole form of parenting is, I don't want to deal with it. If you're doing something I don't like, I'm going to put you somewhere that I don't have to look at you. Eric starts off in an institution after trying to commit suicide, and she doesn't want anything to do with him there.
It's no surprise why Serena's always got to go. She learned it right from Lily.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yep. Something's wrong. I better leave because if I'm in trouble, I better leave.
Yep. Jenny tries to make peace with Eric, but Eric just tells Jenny to watch her back.
Yeah, Eric.
Eric's being a bit of a shit this episode.
Yeah, Eric, I'm not loving it. And I'm not loving this side of you. You are the grown-up on this show. You are the conscience of this show. For you to not be able to make peace, and I get maybe even like, you want me to apologize, let's talk. But also, you did screw her over.
And then didn't even have the balls to admit it.
And didn't even admit it. So I don't like this side of you, Eric.
And so, Jonathan dumped him because of what he become, and now he's just doubling down on that.
Yeah, he's leaning in.
Blair is trying to eat a whole pie to herself in the lobby when Eleanor walks in. Eleanor is not the one who is pregnant. She is just moving to Paris full time. Blair apologizes to her mother for acting crazy, and Vanya walks up trying to figure out what he did to upset Dorota. Blair and Eleanor have a simultaneous light bulb moment.
Adorable. I like that Eleanor is moving to Paris. It makes it feel better than when she's not around all the time. Mm-hmm. I do hope that doesn't mean that she won't come back more. I'm hoping that we'll see her pop in more because we've had to wait, 11 episodes to see her this year. I also, the Dorota thing is sweet. It's cute.
Yeah. Gabriella is concerned for Rufus on why Lily was dishonest with him. Rufus seems fine to just stick his head in the sand.
Yeah, and let him at Thanksgiving now with all these people around.
Yeah, at first it's like, okay, Rufus, you're just being oblivious as normal, but then you realize he's just playing it cool.
Yeah, and so why are you...
Keeping his business private.
Yeah. So, text him later, Gabriella. Stop being so fucking nosy. If you want to ask someone a bunch of questions about their life, why don't you try Vanessa? She'd love it.
Yeah. Despite Dan trying to broker peace, Vanessa and her mom continue to fight, and it looks like Gabriella's headed for the door.
Yeah, she's such an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as much as I usually can't stand Vanessa, I was team Vanessa in this the whole time.
Yeah.
Your mom is an asshole. Yeah. I get why you're such a butthole, and it's because of your mom.
Serena gives a heartfelt apology to Maureen in front of Trip, Chuck, and Nate. Pretty sure Nate went from 6 to midnight when he heard Serena was ending things with Trip.
Yeah, and Serena stood there and said, I promise never to see Trip again. And I bet she holds that promise. I bet that she holds up that promise and never sees Trip again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go into Act 5. Blair finds Serena in her old room, now Jenny's room. Our leading ladies make up yet again. Let's hope it lasts for more than 5 minutes this time.
It's a nice makeup scene, and it's nice that Blair recognizes that she was an asshole. Not that she was wrong, that she was handling it wrong. She was right in her sentiment, but she was handling it wrong. I also really liked that this gave them a reason to go to the safe.
Yeah.
When Blair said...
When Paris with me.
Yeah, when they said, oh yeah, my passport's in the safe, instantly, I was like, oh, they're going to find the letter. Lily put the letter in the safe.
Mm-hmm. Rufus does things the right way and waits to talk to Lily in private about her dishonesty. Lily is explaining why she didn't come home when she is interrupted by Cece, who calls her out on this lie as well.
Yeah, Lily is sitting here, and we all know she's lying right to Rufus's fucking face. And then Cece comes in, and again, Cece's right. You can't hold secrets like this. You can't go on a secret trip to see your ex-husband, which is the only thing that makes sense to me. That Lily left to go see, what's his name?
William
Vander Woodsen. So that's where I think she went. But she's sitting here lying. And I don't know if it was an innocent thing. I don't know if it was an affair thing. But whatever it was, she's lying to Rufus. And Cece coming in and basically saying, you can't have lies this big. And this is very consistent to Cece's character. Cece has always been like, you can't have huge fucking secrets in your relationship. When she started rooting for these two, she was like, you can't have these big secrets in your relationship. And she's trying to kind of push Lily into having to tell it. But she's not blowing it up the way she did in the past.
Eleanor and Blair force Dorota to take a plate of food down to Vanya and tell him that she is pregnant. Dorota is worried because they aren't married.
Cute.
Let's start the next Polish and Russian war.
Yeah. Tom Colicchio probably already sent him a plate. Rufus is good cook, but he's not top chef.
Dan comes home to find Gabriella on her way out the door. Dan gives a big speech about how great Vanessa is, and Gabriella calls him out for being in love with Vanessa, who then shows up. Dan goes to his room to give them some alone time.
I found this to be really manipulative of Gabriella. I think that there was some sincerity in it, that she's sitting here talking to Dan and recognizes for the first time he's showing these feelings, right? But Dan is telling her something very important and really telling her, this is how you need to fix your relationship with your daughter. And instead of internalizing that, which she does, because we do recognize that later, but her instant thing is, oh, you love my daughter.
Jokes aside, I think Dan does love Vanessa. I don't think he's in love with her, but they saw each other naked and things can get confusing.
Yes. I believe that Dan loves Vanessa as well. I believe that Dan is confusing his love of the best friend for the love of the naked friend.
Yeah.
And I do feel that this is going to come to them dating again. And I personally feel like the best solution to that will be them discovering that they're just friends. That's what I would like to see, how I would like to see this play out. Or even for Dan to make the move and Vanessa be like, bruh, you had your chance. Whatever. I do agree with you that Dan does have something going on right now and is turmoiled by his feelings for Vanessa in this moment. Mm. I also think Gabriella deflected instead of internalizing that information.
Yeah.
And I found that to be because of the way that Dan was mid-sentence when you see the expression on her face change, that it's right then she's already set to change the subject from reconciling with her daughter to putting this other shit on Dan.
And I think she recognized that, evidenced by her in the next scene with them.
Yes. At the same time, it also really shows the history of Gabriella and the Humphreys.
Yes.
We really saw a lot of that in this episode.
Tripp yells at Nate for giving the footage to Maureen before leaving. Chuck kind of calls Nate out for stealing the footage, but he's cool about it because he knows Nate is still in love with Serena.
Nate and Chuck being besties, I love it. I love that Chuck is clearly irritated.
Yeah, but he's being a bro.
Yeah, he's being a bro and he gets it. And I really like that. And he's being a bro, but he's also laying out the business, just like he did with Serena and the congressman. You play grab ass in my hotel again and you're out. You're not staying here. I'm not having that shit here. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be Scandal Hotel. I will have a speakeasy in it. Yes. And I do want to have these horny parties.
I think it was more concerned that he just pissed off that they stopped the elevator maybe.
Well, that too. Well, and I think that the political scandal might bother him a little bit. Maybe not, because that would be good publicity. Yeah.
He doesn't care about politics.
Yeah. Don't stop my elevator.
Well, I mean, if it pisses off other customers, trying.
Right? No, it's a legit, especially just to like fucking make out with a guy.
Yeah, you got a room.
Yeah, you're on your way to it.
Blair and Serena are getting Serena's passport out of Bart's safe. Tripp shows up and declares that all he cares about is Serena. Blair tells Serena to go for it. But before Serena can leave, she finds the now open letter from Dr. Daddy addressed to Serena. She tells Blair she needs to be alone to read it.
Tripp, you dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. You're not even sworn in yet. Your political career is about to end. And all you have to do is work shit out with your wife, or at least try. Go to fucking therapy. No one would shame a congressman for working shit out with their wife. But you're going to lose. You haven't been sworn in yet, and you're going to get blown up in your second scandal. And you're going to explain to the press, I'm leaving my wife because she cheated on the campaign, and now no reason. And now this
blonde coincidence.
This blonde coincidence, this teenage blonde coincidence is just hanging out with me that is almost a decade younger than me. They've established he's 26, I believe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also that they've known each other forever.
Yeah, which means that once, oh my God. It's the camp counselor all over again.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. Yeah, because they have established that. So like he was 16 and she was fucking 8 years old.
Yeah.
And you disgusting fucking creeps.
So bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's fucking Marius and Cosette from Les Miserables. You fucking creep.
On her way out the door, Serena tells Lily that she is leaving with Tripp, who is divorcing Maureen. Serena hands her the letter and says, "You never get to judge me again."
Serena taking those shots, good. Because your mom fucking deserves it right now. You're an idiot. You're doing stupid shit. Like I said, I think last week, Serena is being incredibly stupid and 100% in character. So
and justifying it because Lily's also doing stupid shit in character.
Yes. Yeah. They are both being fucking ridiculous and 100% in character. And it is right. That letter is addressed to Serena.
Yeah.
That wasn't Lily's letter to hold from her 18-year-old daughter, from her adult child. So Lily across this episode is just bad fucking momming and wife.
Yeah. So based on her reaction and the "you can't judge me," does that mean somewhere in this letter that her dad sent to her
that she talks about banging Lily? I had that thought too. Hey, your mom came to see me this summer. I totally threw one in her while she was hanging out here. Would you like details? It was a warm summer night. We were both sweaty. It's like unfolds like this 6-page letter. Why did she keep reading it? The writing was on par with Dan Humphrey.
And we move into the epilogue. Gabriella thanks Dan for getting her to sit down and talk with Vanessa. She advises Dan that he should be sure before he tells Vanessa his feelings because their friendship wouldn't survive another breakup.
And the retcon is now solidified.
Yeah.
That she poured her heart out to him before she left. Whereas the first time we see Vanessa, Dan told her he loved her, and then she left.
Yeah.
So this retcon is now finally, they've hinted at it here and there, and now Gabriella's like, when she poured her heart out to you.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Gabriella kind of backtracking on what she said earlier.
Well, she makes a good point, though. You love her, and I could see like you love her, and that sinking in, but then being like, are you sure? Or are you going to hurt her again? You can't hurt her like that.
Well, now she's actually decided she cares about her daughter.
Yes.
After one conversation.
Yes. Dan's point in that first conversation of like, if you just spend half the attention that you do on these random fucking strangers on your daughter.
Yeah.
She'd love it.
Yeah. And you would realize that you guys are more alike than you think.
Yeah, you're both self-righteous, pretentious, and super, super annoying. Good job, Mom.
Nate catches Serena on the sidewalk and declares that he has been in love with her for 3 years and begs her not to go his trip. Serena is clearly torn.
I was thinking there was a timeline trouble here, but maybe not. Because Serena says that the letter was addressed weeks ago. Nate says ever since last week, but I guess that letter had been sitting there waiting for Lily to get home for a while. That makes sense. When I first watched it, I was like, she said weeks, and then he said week, but now I remember that it was in Lily's pile of mail waiting for her when she got home.
Vanessa and Dan hug goodbye, and she says that she thinks Dan's new face is cute. Gossip Girl begins her end of episode monologue. Another Thanksgiving has come and gone, and what am I most thankful for? The truth. Sometimes it's the truth you've been trying not to face, or the truth that will change your life.
Yeah, Vanessa has that flirty, I like this new face. Oh no. It's gonna happen. They're all gonna fuck.
Dorota tells a jubilant Vanya about her pregnancy.
Sweet, and we don't even see it. It's just like a nice...
Yeah, you just see it from afar.
Yeah.
And he lifts her up and jumps around. Super excited.
So cute.
Yeah.
And very happy for them.
Mm-hmm.
I really do need to go and watch the YouTube series. You've watched it?
Yes. 10 years, almost 20 years ago when it was on.
Right. Is it worth the watch?
Probably not.
Probably not. Got it.
Jenny and Eric give each other icy stares as they pass each other in the hallway. Eric texts an unknown number. Jenny knows we have to strike.
Not loving this look on you, Eric. Not loving it. You are always better than this and above this. I'm not loving this for you.
Mr. Two-Face, as Jenny called him.
Yeah. He has always had the moral high ground on this show. Until now. And it's a shame. I hope we get him back to normal. He's too important. He's the soul especially of the Vanderwoodsens. Mm-hmm. He's the sage.
Gossip Girl continues. Sometimes it's the truth that's a long time coming, or the truth you prayed would never see the light of day. We see Lily briefly reading the letter. When Rufus calls out to her, Lily hides the letter in a jacket pocket on the coat rack. Rufus is looking for the wedding album to show off his jam with Kim and Thurston of the Sonic Youths.
Of the Sonic Youths. And look, why are you reading the note right out here in the open? You fucking dumbass. Then hide it in your jacket pocket. Great. That's going to end well.
Chuck is leaving with Blair and Eleanor when he spots Nate moping. Chuck asks permission to ditch Blair and her mom to go comfort Nate. Gossip Girl continues with, some truths may not be heard the way we hope they would. Chuck being a good friend again,
yeah.
and a good boyfriend asking permission.
Yeah, Chuck was just great here, and Blair being like, I do mind, but I know you have to, yeah. and being the good girlfriend, absolutely you can go do what you need with your friend and go take care of your friend. Robin actually said, I think it was around this part, that if Chuck and Blair break up, she's not going to be okay. And I was like, ooh, there's no way they can make it through this entire series together. There's no way.
Serena is in back of the limo with Trip, but not looking like someone happy to be running away in love.
Nope.
Gossip Girl says, but they linger long after they've been said. This scene was very, very reminiscent of last season when she left with Aaron.
Yes. Yeah.
Same shot, sitting in the limo with her, hands held, or the guy's hand on top of her hand,
yeah,
possessively holding her,
yeah,
and her just looking miserable.
Yeah, like she's made a huge mistake. Yeah, it is. This is the second time we're seeing this same behavior from her.
Maureen comes back to the penthouse to get her coat. On the elevator, she noticed the letter from the jacket pocket. Gossip Girl brings us home with, but the kind of truth I'm most thankful for, the one you never see coming that falls right into your lap. XO, XO, Gossip Girl, and the episode closes with the elevator doors closing on a grinning Maureen.
That last shot was fucking amazing. The fourth wall break, when she's looking at the note and she just looks up and she looks right at the camera and has that grin as the elevator closes. Mm-hmm. Masterful.
Yes.
Masterful. It was so good.
And then this is the full quote from Gossip Girl. Another Thanksgiving has come and gone. And what am I most thankful for? The truth. Sometimes it's the truth you've been trying not to face, or the truth that will change your life. Sometimes it's the truth that's a long time coming, or the truth you prayed you would never see the light of day. Some truths may be heard the way we hope they would, but they linger long after they've been said. But the kind of truth I'm most thankful for, the one you never see coming that falls right into your lap. XO, XO, Gossip Girl. That is our episode. What's coming next? What does that letter say?
Yeah, I mean, the letter clearly states that Lily came to visit him. It's got to have some explanation as to why he's avoiding Serena, which my only guess is Lily went out there and was like, don't fucking talk to her. That's my one guess.
Well, what was the timeline?
The timeline, well, Serena...
Could they have been together while Serena went there?
Oh, so, well, she came back in October. She was healthy from August, so September, October, she was out there. Serena was looking for her dad over the summer, so would have come back.
And she came back right at the beginning
of September,
yeah.
like right at the beginning of September. So there may have been so it might have been like why is our daughter out here looking for me? And yeah, whatever it is, it's just it's bad enough that Lily's keeping it from Rufus. And one of my big predictions, I wonder if this could break them up. I knew about the marriage. I had talked about that had been spoiled for me, but also was kind of obviously.
What marriage?
Lily and Rufus getting married was spoiled for me like 2 or 3 episodes before we saw it. It was a Blake Lively interview that she was like, that I was just flipping through TikTok and Blake Lively said something about how she was on a show dating her, where her boyfriend becomes her stepbrother.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's going to happen. It was, yeah. And so I did know that they would get married. I really thought they'd have a happily ever after. And every episode that they're doing stuff when I'm like, this is a very appropriate use for Lily and Rufus, that I really wanted their drama to be done, to make this show now just about the kids and the kids' relationships with the parents, but not the parents with each other anymore. I wanted that drama done. And now it seems like it's back. And it seems like this could be a breakup thing, that this could force them apart. So I'm really curious as to where that will go.
Any other predictions?
War between Eric and little Jenny. Eric is plotting, and it means that Jenny is going to retaliate, and Jenny escalates.
Yeah.
Jenny.
Yeah, she does.
Jenny,
she burns that shit down.
She does. If you're bringing a Nerf bat, she's bringing a machete, to the fight, and she's always going to escalate whatever it is until it burns down.
She's always reaching for that can of gasoline.
Yes.
All right, let's get into some segments. This week in fandom. Finally, the Television Without Pity forums are back.
Oh, good.
Hello there, Peabody here. And this is the Wayback Machine for traveling through time. And this is my boy, Sherman. Speak, Sherman.
Hello.
Good boy.
The overall reaction to this episode was good, but definitely not equal to the post-series hype, as I kind of mentioned earlier.
Right. Which, it's interesting to me because on my first watch of this scene, I was blown away. I was blown away by that choreography of it, by the directing, by the writing, how everything was tossed around. Now, this is a multi-camera show, of course, right? Mm-hmm. So it, with several takes of them throwing that around, but still it would be a tough scene to line up, to shoot, to get that smooth. Just every level of production of that scene was exciting. Yeah. And just so bam, bam, bam with the dialogue. So I'm really surprised that it didn't hold up like that. I really felt that was the best Thanksgiving scene we've had in 3 Thanksgiving episodes. This is probably my favorite of the 3 Thanksgiving ones, and the other 2 are phenomenal episodes.
Yeah, I think this is actually my least favorite one, even though the scene is iconic and it's hilarious. It didn't hit those same emotional notes that the first 2 ones had.
I get that. That is fair.
And so we haven't had Television Without Pity for a while here, but I got the sense that they are definitely not liking this season as much as the fan forum people.
That's fair.
They're definitely a tougher crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like writing and stuff. Not enough Blair or Chuck, and not enough Blair and Chuck.
They really had just supporting roles in this whole thing. Mm-hmm. They had the one scene together, and they've been doing this a lot, that you see them in the beginning and then they go their own way and then sometimes meet up at the end.
So yeah, like as I talked about, that the Jason Derulo song is very iconic for that, with that scene. There was multiple people that mentioned that scene. That song was horrible in the thread. But yeah, that's about it. There was only a short thread this week. So let's go ahead and get over to episode grades. It is your turn to go first.
I gave this an A. I originally gave it an A+. I'm knocking it down to an A just because of that lack of emotional content that it did have, that the other two did have, where I think the first one, I was borderline tears when Blair looked at herself in the mirror, in the distorted refrigerator reflection.
And then the second one with Blair, Jenny, and Eleanor out on the street.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why my brain made those both the same episode, but that scene is just, oh my God, that one did. That's
one of the best scenes of the show.
Yeah, amazing. They really put everything into Thanksgiving, though.
So you give it an A?
Yes, I give this an A. I also wanted to mention, as we often do, the fact that they all come together at the end. Mm-hmm. That this one, not only did everything tie up, but you had everybody. You had this huge cast all together in the same room acting together, and that was really fun.
Yeah, so the writing, the dialogue in this was great. The foreshadowing with the jacket, great setup and payoff. Directing was excellent, all the choreography. There's two big things that knock it down a little bit for me. One, as I said, it didn't hit that same emotional bar that the first two Thanksgiving episodes did. And two, I just really, really hate the Dan and Vanessa storyline. So that brought it down to a B+ for me.
Okay. I hate it, but I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? Like, I know it has to happen.
Does it though? It just seems like Dan's forcing himself into believing that he's in love with her.
Yes, I agree with that. And again, it's the teenager, it's confusing when you see someone naked thing. Yeah. Do I love her now?
No, you're just horny.
Yes. Yeah. No, you had a threesome, brah. Like, it's gonna have some residual effects on you. You can't go back from that.
Moving to stock watch. Who do you got going up?
Cece. I had Cece going up. I have Vanessa going up. I have Chuck and Blair going up, even though they kind of had nothing episodes. I feel like I like them. I have Dorota and Vanya going up. I have Eleanor going up. Congratulations on the new abode. And I have Dan going up for fixing Vanessa and Gabriella.
Fair enough. For me, I had Dorota and Vanya. I had Chuck, but not Blair. Dorota and Vanya because they're pregnant and happy. Chuck because he was a good bro and a good boyfriend. Vanessa and Gabriella going up because they, connected and got their mother-daughter thing going on. And also Eleanor and Cyrus because, they got a nice new property in Paris.
Yeah, I guess I should. Well,
he was mentioned.
He was mentioned. So, I'll give it to Cyrus, too.
Who do you have going down?
Lily, Serena, Nate, Tripp, Maureen, even though I think Maureen's about to get a big boost. But for right now, Maureen's stock went down. And I had Gabriella going down. And it's because, yes, they had that good makeup in the end, but net gains in this episode, I felt like she tanked for so much of it. I really hated the deflection when she talked to Dan that moment. Gabriella went down for me.
Yeah, she was awful, but there was zero consequences for her for being awful.
That's a bigger problem.
For me, I had Jenny going down because she did not get her friend back. Eric going down because he was being shitty.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Add Eric for me. I knew I was forgetting someone. I wasn't giving it to Jenny because... Oh, yes, and Jenny because her sweet potatoes were bland.
Nate because he got left at the altar, metaphorically. I had Dan going down because he's gaslit himself into believing he loves Vanessa. Lily because she is horrible. As a mother and as a partner. Serena, because she's doing dumb shit all day. Tripp, because he is a creepy creeper.
Fucking creep.
Maureen, because she's still in love with the guy that's leaving her for a child.
Yeah, you're in love. You're in love with this person. You're still in love with this person. Well, and also, I don't know if it's a love thing or if it's a power thing. Like that's my congressman husband. That I got elected, thanks to me. He's going to be a congressman. I know he doesn't want to talk about that, but I did get him elected.
Yeah. And then also, I had Blair going down because she was just kind of an asshole most of this episode.
That's fair.
And she also flip flopped on the trip thing too. At the end, she's like, "Go for it."
Yeah, that I actually meant to talk about that because of how Serena is the I want to go for whatever the shiny thing that tells me they love me is. Blair is such an enabler because once she sees someone say, no, I really do like you, Blair's like, aw. Every one of Serena's bad relationships that she's judged her for, she has then come around and been like, aw. Like the Carter thing. And Aaron, I believe she did it.
Mm-hmm. And then I also had a Rufus going down because it looks like he got cheated on.
Yeah, add Rufus for me. I was on the fence with him. I felt so bad. He wanted a big Thanksgiving. He got it and it sucked. His joke didn't land. But here's the best outfits from the last episode we've seen.
Well, who do you have for best outfit?
I had Serena's pantsuit sort of thing. The
jumpsuit? Really?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't often anymore pick a lot of Serena's stuff because a lot of Serena's stuff is all very just tits out all over the place, which isn't a style that I really as interested in.
It's the same thing she was doing with that.
Although I found that big V line to not be so much like, yes, all cleavage, but not just like she wasn't busting out of it, I didn't think. And I thought it was a better.
But it was not a pantsuit. It was a literal like jumpsuit.
Jumpsuit, was it? Yeah.
It was just like it was
like
like
a jumper.
It was like a full body yoga pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a V-neck.
Yeah. I dug it.
To me, that was one of the worst outfits of the episode. I was actually gonna mention that as being particularly bad.
That's funny
because I tacky for family Thanksgiving too.
I mean, Serena's always gonna have something showing on family Thanksgiving.
For me, I had Blair's mustard floral pattern dress, star dress by Soraya, and also honorable mention to Serena's embroidered collar coat. I really like that coat she had on.
Oh yeah.
With the gold like beads on it.
It's funny. It's funny because I actually hated that dress on Blair. I hated the color of that dress for Blair. So I think it's funny that we got because I remember paying attention as I was paying attention. It's like, what's Blair wearing? It's like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like the pattern and the color on it. So
yeah, I liked it with the lace tights, which are actually very similar to the tights that Jenny was wearing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she also had the big necklace too, the costume jewelry.
Yes.
That is it for segments. Do you have anything you want to plug this week?
Not particularly. I did watch the studio on your recommendation. I'm caught up on that. I think one of my favorite episodes was the gala when he's with all these.
Oh, with the doctors?
With the doctors, with the child oncologists, and he's making the argument that his job is just as stressful as theirs. But then he starts making some really good points. Like, where's your funding coming from? Like, yeah, I'll donate $2,000 for this golf trip I don't want because the arts fund your shit. They fund your research.
Yeah, and the other point that he made was, yes, I'm not dealing with life and death day to day directly, but I am responsible for hundreds, if not thousands, of people's livelihood.
Yes, yeah. When he first started down that road, I was like, "Oh, dude, are you seriously going to compare your job to child oncologists?" But then as he started to do it, it was like, all right, like he actually has a point. The whole thing of of all of the galas that are held here for your stupid charity shit, it's the movies on the fountain. Yeah. It's the movies that are
and
shot
our worst
here.
movie, Geely.
Yeah, Geely is on this fountain.
Yes.
It just was such a. I am a person who doesn't like to think in terms of this is a more important job than that, or this person deserves more because they do that, and this person deserves less because they don't. I don't often think in those terms. And so when he had that argument, it was like, he is right. He does have a high stress job where people's lives literally are at stake in a different manner of speaking. Like, people don't eat if he fails at his job.
Yeah. Nothing from me to plug this week, but you can follow me on social media. I'm on Blue Sky and Instagram at Hot Capicola. That's HOTCAPICOLA. And you can follow the podcast on TikTok, Threads, Instagram, at Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. And if you'd like to check out our Discord server, our subreddit, or our Patreon, you can find links on our website, nonjudgingbreakfastpod.com.
You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok at steve.marchon, MARCHION. And you can also find me on Blue Sky at The Weed Wizard. And if you would like to get in touch with us, we would love to hear what you have to say. Please send us an email at nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com. We'd love to read your thoughts on air, hear what you have to say, and discuss it a bit. So please keep in touch. While you're listening also, if you could go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe, go ahead and leave a comment. It really helps us with our visibility in Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And please tell a friend what you're listening to. Spread the word of the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod and make us your water cooler talk.
Indeed. And we will be back next week to talk about Season 3, Episode 12, The Debarded.
The Debarded.
The episode description reads, Chuck wrestles with a past issue. A serious car accident rocks the Upper East Side. Dan and Vanessa try to navigate their complicated friendship.
It's like, it's sort of two truths and a lie, only it's one of these things is not like the other.
Very low stakes.
Yes. Chuck is grappling with life-changing information.
Well, actually, it just says he wrestles with a past issue, so it could just be a parking ticket.
In the episode called The Debarded. Clearly, yes. He's got to treat that gonorrhea that he picked up.
Well, until next time, you know you love us.
XOXO. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with